NHL picks for Tuesday, January 27th. Welcome in, guys, to PuckTime, WagerTalk TV. Andrew, Prez, and Buster with you today to break down a handful of games. We got some good games on tap. Sabres, Leafs, Sharks, Canucks, and Jets, and the Devils going head-to-head. I'll give you guys some props near the end of the show, and, of course, we'll give you guys some great promos as it is $5 Tuesday. Not just one play, but every play available from Cappers, as long as it isn't a $5 or 5% play, available for just $5. And Prez, you have a big play going on the ice as well. Same thing with me. Good morning, man. How are you?
I'm excited, Andrew. Great night last night. Swept the board 3-0. Had a huge 4% play on Arizona against BYU in college hoops. And Jesus, the ending of that game was intense. Arizona was up by 10 with a minute to go in the game. And BYU had a shot to win it all at the end. It was
big block, actually. Great play by the Arizona defender. Great play. I turned it on with 5 minutes to go. You know how everybody jokes around that like the final like 2 minutes in basketball is like half an hour or however long. I turned it on for like the final 8 to 10 minutes of that game. My girlfriend was like getting ready for bed, kind of walking around, doing her thing, whatever. She's like, "Are you still watching that game?" It must have been like 45 minutes. I swear, like 30, 40 minutes of how long that game was towards the end. But the free throws and the missed shot. But man, March Madness, it makes it a good thing. College kids can't hit free throws. Like college kids are the least. I don't know if it's because they're tired because there's not enough breaks.
That's not true. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to sound racist, but that's not technically true. There are many Indiana college basketball players, people born in Iowa, in Indiana, in Wichita State, in Boise, that master the art of the free throw and can't do anything else. So I'm not buying what you're selling. People from LA and New York and Miami, they might not master the free throw, but I'll take an Indiana guy named Chip, and I think he gets 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Go Chip. Go Chip.
Yeah, it's a big part of the comebacks, though. It's just not as automatic as it is. But, Prez, let's dive into the Buffalo Sabres and the Toronto Maple Leafs here. I was talking to you before the show started, man. Buffalo Sabres fire their GM. They go on a 10-game winning streak, and they just haven't really looked back since. But now we're getting to a point where the prices here are near pick'em, and they're starting to get used to the Sabres team being semi a good team.
Yeah.
Who knows if it's a good value spot here on the Maple Leafs. They're not happy after their last game here. Side total, what sticks out to you here?
Well, the total sticks out to me, Andrew, but I do want to just shout out the Buffalo Sabres. Outstanding effort by Buffalo. A great start to the season, 29-17, and obviously one of the hottest teams in the league. It's going to be, I'll tell you, as a person who lives next to Buffalo, you know, where it's an hour drive from Buffalo to here. And I grew up listening to Buffalo News because that was the news channel that brought the news into the Toronto market. I know as a fact how Buffalo sports work. They climb to the top of the mountain just so the plummet could be longer and harder. It's their special superpower in Buffalo. They want the pain of almost getting there year after year, sport after sport. And here they go again. Now, with that said, I like the over in this game a lot, dude. I mean, come on. Do you know that Buffalo has scored 5 goals? Firstly, Carmine Bianco said, "Prez with the Sabres hate." No, Carm. It's the Buffalo hate, not the Sabres hate.
Nothing against the Sabres.
Yeah,
Nothing against
the whole
Sabres.
damn place, bro. And I don't hate Buffalo. I just think that they have mastered the art of never doing anything in sports, no matter what, forever. Anyway, Buffalo, dude, they've scored 5 goals in 6 out of their last 10 games. Think about that. They've scored 5 goals in 2 of their last 3 games. They've scored 14 goals in their last 3 games. And it's not like Toronto's playing defense, bro. This Toronto team just allowed Colorado 4, Vegas 6, Minnesota 6. This Toronto Leaf team has allowed 6 goals in 4 of their last 7 games. Let's move on to another game. Don't overthink this, Andrew. Take the over in this game. Keep riding the Sabres over. Keep riding Toronto over right now until it turns around. Now, I know that Buffalo's gone under the last 2 games in a row, but that's because the Islanders couldn't score, and nor could Montreal. I think we're going to get goals out of Toronto tonight, even though they put up a 1 spot against Colorado. They're still shooting the puck, and the longer they go without Nylander, the more chemistry will be, the better the lines will be, the more goals they're going to get, et cetera, et cetera. I like the over tonight, bro.
Yeah, I can't argue with you, Prez, on that one. Like, just looking at this team as well, I gotta say, nobody wants to make excuses for anybody because a lot of teams are going through tough schedules right now. But we have to say, this Leafs team has gone through a tough last couple of games. The Detroit Red Wings, they mean business. They're actually a good team in the Atlantic. You know, as much as they've driven me crazy this season, they mean business in the Atlantic Division. And then you look at, you know, the Avalanche, the Golden Knights twice, the Wild. Like, it has not been an easy last 6 games.
With that said,
for this Maple Leafs team overall. And so I do think their offense will show up, but I do still worry about their defense, to your point about Buffalo scoring.
And I agree. I think they're going to put some goals up tonight too. But I mean, Andrew, not only are they allowing 6 goals in, 4 out of their last 7 games, but just go down the shots on goal: 36, 30, 41, 38, 30, 33, 41, 34. I mean, they've gone 8 games in a row with 30 plus goals, shots on net against them. I mean, the over for me. So,
well, we're going to touch on that in the prop segment towards the end of the show. The Maple Leafs rank dead last, 32nd in the league in shots on goal allowed per game. So, I don't think it's ever the goalie's fault when they're facing that many shots. There's some instances where it can be, but they're dealing with a lot right now. But who would have thought, Prez, if we were talking together in October, we'd be seeing home game for the Maple Leafs, and it's a near pick'em right now, Buffalo and Toronto. How things can change, but I definitely don't think the scoring will change for either of these teams. So whether it's first period over or full game over, I'm looking for some goals here in this one. The big thing is, I wonder with the Maple Leafs is they got to continue to get that secondary scoring. Like, even if they can get Cowan to do something again and come with these other guys, but it can't just be Tavares and Matthews and the big guys, because I feel like for those players, when they even see another guy in the bottom 6 do something, it helps them. It sparks them out. It makes them feel like they're not the only guys out there that have to score. But Buffalo certainly looking pretty good right now. Let's bring in Don Buster. Prez, go ahead.
Well, first, I'd like to promote. Secondly, we'll answer this question with Don. If Montreal had a good goalie this year, we would be in first place for sure. So let me promote quickly, and then let me get to that question, because I have one of those plays again tonight, Andrew. We were on here last Tuesday, and I begged you guys to buy my 4% NHL money line bet. Hundreds of you guys took advantage of that. It's only $5, and we won. The Tuesday before was exactly the same way. And tonight I got another one of those plays. We are on a 9-0, 4% run. That's right. 9 wins, 0 losses on my 4% play. I'm also 63% in 4% bets since last January, but that's nothing compared to what I do in these NHL money line bets. Andrew, I am 43-18 in the last 6 years. No, since 2022. 43-18 in these plays. Guys, it's $5. We've done this every Tuesday. We keep winning them. Head over to WagerTalk, grab my play. And now let's invite Don Pancho Gonzalez.
You wanted to you wanted to answer the question, and what about me?
Yeah, I want Don to answer. Don is Buster is a Montreal fan.
All right.
So let Pablo Sanchez answer the question.
There he is. Carm, Buster, if you thought you got a handful with me and Carm, you're in for a treat today with President.
Buster, you look amazing, dude.
Thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate that. It's probably the best compliment you gave me over this PuckTime show that I was on with you and Andrew maybe 7 years ago when it was your baby, and then you handed it over to Andrew and Carmine. And I was always shocked, Lawrence, that you did that, because I know how much you love this show, but you come on enough, so I guess you get your fill of the show as well.
Buster, if it means anything, I started the college football show and handed it over. I started the prop show. I started the NASCAR show. I started the UFC show. I started the hockey show. I started every single daily show we have going because Johnny
you are
Detroit
an owner
calls
of the
me
company.
Up. Andrew,
so
I
it does
called
make sense.
Yes, of course. I called Johnny up like 8 years ago, and I'm like, we need to do a daily show. And I think PuckTime was the first daily show. We need to do a daily show. And he's like, you'll never be able to do it. You'll find reasons, and then this person, and then you're going to sleep, and then you're going to get high, and then you're going to have a hangover. And Anyway, Don, you look like you've lost some weight. You look phenomenal, dude. Seriously.
I actually have, Lawrence. I've been trying to live a little bit of better lifestyle. As you know, as you get older, you need to do that. Walking a lot more too, exercising a bit more. So trying the best, but I know you guys got a ton of snow there in your area. Carmine's threw out his back. I'm actually a little surprised about that, because I figured, Lawrence, you would maybe send over your crew to help him out, and you wouldn't have to, shovel it all.
So I don't listen. Had he have asked me to send my crew over to shovel it, I would have.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why you'd want to pick up a shovel. That's why I'm in Mexico. I don't even want to see snow.
Dude, firstly, I love snow. Secondly, I don't shovel. Are you crazy? That's insane to me.
I've heard that. Buster, let me ask you this. I know we got to get back on track, but I'll chime in here. I've heard people have talked about getting that it's like the seasonal depression, but the opposite way, where you have just one climate all the time. Have you ever missed the seasons, so to speak, of back home? I know. So Dan Alexander just moved back to Philly from California. He got to experience it where it was sunny every day. And he said, it's, to me, hey, it sounds kind of, privileged, horrible. But he goes, you actually do end up getting used to it, and it's not as special anymore. But my only counter argument is, I'd love to just even be able to say that, even just give me a year to be able to experience that. Then maybe I would miss that as well. Do you ever miss that?
I truly don't. I know my wife does. She likes snow like Lawrence does. She used to ski a lot, and I know Lawrence likes to ski. So when you're still doing that, yeah, you're going to like the snow if you like snowmobiling, things like that. But for me, I was never one of those guys that liked the snow. The only events I did in the wintertime was inside drinking. That was my event, right?
So Andrew,
now being down here, it's again, I understand that, but it's for me, give me the sun all the time.
Andrew, Friday night I went out with dinner with my wife and another couple, and my wife was talking, and I did this, and I got in a lot of trouble. I'm going to try it again.
Oh, so you're allowed to get off track, but I can't. All right, Buster, Sharks and Canucks. What do you have for us? You gave us the ugliest game on the board. This is how we know the Sharks are getting a lot better, because the Sharks are decent fibs against the Canucks. They're evidently the worst team in the league. Nobody can really deny that. Are you taking the Sharks? Are you taking the dog here? What do you think?
Well, I'm not going to be taking a side here, but we will talk about it. I actually was going to talk about the Vegas-Montreal game, but I'm on with you tomorrow, Andrew, and we get accused of talking too much Habs. So I decided I would do, because Brian Leonard hasn't been around for a while. He's been on holidays for a bit. So I decided I'd do my Brian Leonard and pick a game that is a little game that people might not want to look at. So when you look at this line, San Jose minus 125, that seems very fishy to me. Like we all know, Vancouver's lost 13 of their last 14. San Jose, they've gone 9-4 in their last 13, but they're only a 125 favorite. Again, very fishy. Truthfully, though, even though Vancouver is basically a total shit show, they've played pretty well in their last 4 games at home. Now, they've lost 3 of those 4 games, but they've been in every game, and they've only lost by a goal in the games that they lost. So when the team's in every game like that, now, truthfully, I would not talk anyone into taking Vancouver tonight. But this is more of kind of a warning to everybody out there, that because once you look right at that line, I do my lines at night. I quickly look through and go boom, boom. So if I see something that stands out, automatically you look, oh, San Jose's a bet. I don't, not too fast. I don't think so. Like I say, even though San Jose's beat Vancouver twice this season, there is a little bit of revenge for Vancouver if you have something for that team to build on. And I heard, I'm not sure if it was Carmine, you, or maybe even Lawrence, was talking about how Vancouver, they are a professional hockey club. Bottom line, right? And they have been playing a lot better. You can see that they're trying to win. Will they be able to beat the Sharks? Yeah, it might be tough, but I'm telling you, this is going to be a close game. Now, again, gut feeling, and I talked about this 2 or 3 times this year on this show. And actually, every time those gut feelings, I've said that. Of course, I'm not going to bet that, but they have won. I mentioned about 2 weeks ago, we had Edmonton and the Islanders. And I sat on here and said, you know what, just gut feeling, I'm not betting it, that I would like the under. I think the under is the play. And I know I got a little pushback from you boys, you, Carmine, and yourself, Andrew, but it was 1-0. Again, not saying San Jose is could beat them up, but my gut tells me that the play could be Vancouver here. Am I going to put my hard-earned money on it? I wouldn't put your guys' hard-earned money on it. Not at all. But this is more of like I would say just a warning, just tread lightly. What I do like the over here in this game. Actually, San Jose has gone under in their last 5 games. But before that, 9 straight overs and 12 of 13 overs. And in those 5 games, I would say maybe 2 or 3 of those games probably should have went over. Now, Vancouver, even though they don't score a lot, when they've been at home, they've been on an 8-game homestand right now. They have gone 3-1-1 to the over so far. Now, when these teams have got together this year, as I had already mentioned, there was 1 over and 1 under. In the game that went under, I just want to make a little point here. Probably should have went way over. They had 2 power play goals. They had 14 opportunities, so 2 for 14. In the next game that did go over, there was 9 power play opportunities. They did score a couple goals there as well. My point here is that these teams get together. They seem to play a little bit more open because San Jose is one of those clubs that I believe is just like Anaheim. They're an over club, regardless of what's happened these last few games. And both these teams, they tend to give up a ton of goals. Vancouver has allowed the most goals in the NHL, and San Jose comes in at 7th. So both teams, they're a little suspect on defense, I would say. So because of that, I do like this game over. I do think Vancouver can't win a 2-1 game, so they're going to try to score some goals. Again, I don't want anything really to do with this. My gut tells me Vancouver can win this one, but the play is the over.
It's hard to argue an over there because just how consistently bad that Vancouver team has been defensively. Like they're just giving up. And Buster, anytime I think to myself, maybe they'll give us a good defensive effort, they don't anyway. So
I listen. I love being here. Do you want my thoughts on this game, or do you want me to just look good? And I look good. I can look good. I can just sit here and look good. Like
we're gonna get your thoughts on the next game, Prez.
We haven't seen. You know what? Oh, there we go. Do the flexes, Prez. We haven't seen that much lately. Oh, you took him right off there, Andrew.
I took him off the screen.
I like Vancouver a lot. Okay, go on.
Oh, really? Okay, well, you're both thinking the same way.
All right.
No, we're not. I like Vancouver a lot. You're sitting on the fence.
Yes, I am, because I'm not going to bet Vancouver after they've lost 13 out of 14. It's just, I mean, they're 12 out of 13.
Fred isn't going to bet them either. He's just going to tell us tomorrow if they win that he feels good about it. But I don't think he's betting it either. Are you, Press?
I don't know yet, but probably am. I likely am. I bet them last game against Pittsburgh. They lost 3-2.
Yeah, but you know what, Lawrence? At that price, can you bet Vancouver like plus 15? I would have to think that's San Jose.
It's not a good enough price. It's not a good enough price, but analytic-wise, they outshot Pittsburgh. They outshot New Jersey. They beat Washington. This is a team that is heading in the right direction.
Agreed.
All right, Prez, we were going to just get Buster's thoughts on that game, and then it was going to be your turn to talk again, but we'll get Buster's promotions. Anything you have for $5 Tuesday?
Yeah, it's $5 Tuesday here at WagerTalk. We have our 4% best bet up in the NHL for today. It's a total best bet. We actually, for all the years we've been with the WagerTalk family, number one in profit in total best bets, 4% total best bets. So that's good. We're not as good as Lawrence. The last 2 weeks, we've struggled with our $5 customer appreciation play. Just putting that out there. So you'll want to grab this one as we were on a big streak like Lawrence is right now. So good luck to you, Lawrence, on yours. Thanks, but yeah, head over to the site, $5 plays from all the cappers, and go to Don Buster and buy ours.
Good luck, Buster, man. We'll take care. We'll see you next time.
Okay, Andrew, I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Andrew.
Prez, I'll tell you, that stuff sticks out to me quite a bit because
what stuff?
I think like when a number seems weird, like on the weekend on Saturday, it was Tampa Bay and Columbus. And it was like only like plus 100 for Columbus. And I understand Columbus was playing well, but Tampa Bay was one of the hottest teams in the league. So when a number seems kind of fishy, it is kind of interesting. And now we're getting to the point where San Jose is consistently favorites. I know they're playing Vancouver, but I kind of like that as well. All right, we got one more game to get to. I'm sure you have something else to say, though.
Well, first, I just want to say in the last 2 minutes, I want to thank Mario, Giovanni, and Russell. All three of you guys literally in the last 2 minutes purchased my $5 play today. Lots of love, man. Andrew, it means the freaking world to me when people buy my work and utilize it. It's purposeful. It's great for the ego. I'm so appreciative. Guys, man, $5 play.
Great for the ego.
Well, listen, dude, I'm 56 years old. I need ego stuff, okay?
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So head over, grab my play, join the list.
And tomorrow, guys, I'll have Buster with me for the show. We're going to break down 3 games, and we'll go over some props as well. So, again, make sure you guys get Buster's $5 play at WagerTalk. Get Prez's big, what was it, money line play you said, Prez? Yeah, and I've got a team total tonight in the NHL, and you guys can, of course, get my college basketball play. It's a total play as well. Running pretty hot in the NHL overall, and I think it's been a really profitable last few weeks overall. January started off cold. I won't lie. January started off cold. The first week and a half of January was cold across all sports. Past few weeks, we've really, really picked it up, but I think around plus 15, 20 units. So we'll take that. It's a slow grind, and especially when I'm low volume like the way I am, that's all that matters is one winner a day keeps the doctor away. Prez, this is one that I like here. I'll just say real quick, I already did a video on this. I like the Jets plus 105. First game back from a road trip for the Devils. They're 3-1 their last 4 games, but they did drop that last game of the road trip against Seattle. And I'm not a huge coaches quotes guy at all. And I know some handicappers are. I don't necessarily think they do any good because coaches can be very, very cliche. And I feel like you could twist any quote any different way, and handicappers do it to appease their way of thinking. That being said, when a coach says that was the most embarrassing game I've seen in a long time, I'm embarrassed for our team, We looked like we were playing pond hockey out there. Nobody wanted to be there. Nobody wanted to play. It was embarrassing. We have to be much better, and we will be. And every leader on the team says that they will be. Then I'm back in the Winnipeg Jets. It's a veteran team called out by the coach. I still believe they have it in them to bounce back in a strong way. Plus 105 for me. What's your take on this game?
Well, let me just firstly speak conceptually here. I agree with everything you're saying in regards to the Winnipeg Jets. I think when you look at this team, they have 47 points on the season. They are 8 points out of a wild card spot. And I think this is a big-time bet on team moving forward. I would not bet them tonight, Andrew, because I feel exactly the same way about the New Jersey Devils. This New Jersey Devils team is 56 points. They're 5 points out of a wild card spot. And I think they are a bet on team moving forward. Both of these teams are coming out of horrific slumps. So what do you do in tonight's game? You take the under, dude. The under is the play. And I know it's 5.5, but if you look at this are a lot of ones on tap. New Jersey just put up 2 goals against Seattle. But before that, they played Vancouver, and it was a 5-4 game. But Edmonton, 2-1. Calgary, 2-1. Carolina, they only scored 1 goal. Winnipeg only scored 1 goal their last 2 games. The game before that, they held their opponent to 1 goal. The game before that was 2-0. One of these teams is not getting more than 1 goal tonight, Andrew, and I don't think the other is getting 5. So, a 3-2 game feels like a very realistic score to me, and that's still under the total. I love the under in this game, Andrew.
You know what? I lean that way as well. I do, and I think that realistically, when you look at how the Winnipeg Jets typically respond, I kind of correlate them to the Minnesota Wild. Maybe not the Minnesota of these days, but there's certain teams that when they respond after getting embarrassed, and I use that word from the coach's quote, they respond with defense, right? So I'm with you. I think regardless of who wins, I could see a 3-2, but there's a reason it is a 5.5 as the total, right?
Yeah, Got to get through that empty net if it's 3-2, that's for sure. But I think 3-2 is a big number too. Like Andrew, would you say this game has more likely to be 2-1 or 4-3?
Definitely 2-1 for sure.
Then the overs, then the under is the play, because 2-1 still gives you 2 extra goals.
And I think that when you look at this game, like the reason why I lean towards Winnipeg, though, is because I was looking at some of the websites I use for the recent stats, and Jake Allen, 878 save percentage last 3 games. Hellebuck's kind of getting back to his old form. I think, unfortunately, one of the reasons why the Jets weren't playing the way they were was that people didn't realize, I don't think, Prez, how much Hellebuck carried them. Would you agree with me on that? Like how much they really rely
in the regular season. But Andrew, they're loaded on defense. They got talent up front. They got 3 solid lines. This is a good Winnipeg team, dude. Washington Redskins, right? Jets are an over team now for the most part. Well, I mean, they've gone under, they pushed last game at 6 and they went under 3 in a row before that. They're 29-20 to the over this year. They're not going to end up 9 games, 18 games or 15 games over when all's said and done. I would look at a team that's 29-20 to the over, that's perennially played to the under, as a team that is about to start playing a whole lot of unders.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Prez, because for me, with my handicapping, I've said that sometimes I have a bad habit of trying to decide too many times when a team is going to snap out of a slump instead of just betting on hot teams. Like I still to this day haven't bet on Colorado enough this year. I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think I bet on them once.
I bet on them on MLK Day, and that might have been like one of the few times I have. So with 2 teams like this, do you kind of wait until one team starts to get rolling, or how do you, because I know you're like me, like you like to, have the team that's a little bit hot before you get going with them. How do you approach these struggling teams?
Well, so if you're going to lose 5-6 games in a row, I'm going to bet the second game after you win one. So that's sort of how I will attack it. So here you have a scenario where New Jersey has won three in a row. They beat Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. Then they lost to Seattle, but they outshot Seattle 29-18. So I think New Jersey had their power play was 2 of 4. I did not watch the New Jersey-Seattle game, but if Seattle scored 4 goals on 18 shots, one would assume that New Jersey played outstanding that game and had bad puck luck. Mm-hmm. So I think, and New Jersey has also won 5 of 7. So, I'm looking at New Jersey and saying, okay, they're in the zone. They're playing good hockey. It's time to bet on them. Whereas Winnipeg won 4 in a row. Then they lost 2, then they won 1, then they lost 2. So now I'm starting to think with Winnipeg, maybe they haven't entered the I'm going to win 8 out of 10. So I'm waiting for Winnipeg. If Winnipeg wins tonight, I'm looking to bet on them in their very next game, except it'll be in Tampa Bay. So that's not true. Tampa Bay, Florida, and Dallas coming up next for Winnipeg. They might be in a lot of trouble.
That's the thing when you forecast these schedules and you look at it, because what would you rather have, a tough schedule to start the season or a tough schedule to end the season? And the thing is now
they're getting into that point to end.
Yeah, and they're getting into the point now though where they wish they had a couple lighter games right now. Remind people at home, guys, only about 5 or 6 games left for some of these teams before the Olympic break. It will be a 2-week pause in the NHL, so a lot of these teams really pushing for some strong results before the Olympic break. And I will be handicapping the Olympics. And as I mentioned yesterday with Andy Lang, I'm excited. I'm going to be doing a post-game show with the Hockey News for every single Olympic game. You guys can catch me on that as well. All right, really quick, I'll give you guys my props here for today. Yesterday, we did cash a plus 240. These are a handful of picks that I do like. And once again, I'll remind you guys, as I do every single day, you can individually bet these as well. We're going to go to the game that Prez talked about, liking the over 1.5 goals first period. Jason Zucker with 1 point, Josh Doan with 1 point, and Josh Doan with 2 shots on goal or more. This takes us, guys, to plus 600. This looks very, very doable for me here with 2 guys on Buffalo to do very well. 2 points plus 2 shots for Josh Doan, and over 1.5 goals in the first period. Zucker with a point, Doan with a point, and Doan over 2 shots on goal. All right, that will do it for Top Puck Time. Prez, 4% best bet, money line for you. Guys, don't miss it. $5 Tuesday. Best bet for me, done very well with the totals, especially the team totals at WagerTalk, and only $5 right now at WagerTalk. Thanks so much, guys. WagerTalk today comes up at 12 o'clock Eastern time.
I'm on.
See you tomorrow. Oh, you're on. Okay, right on. With Andy and Dan. We'll see you tomorrow with myself and Don Buster right here on Puck Time.